Welcome. We're going to go over a quick and easy way to make salsa. It's something I've been doing for a couple of years, and I've just basically been putting in ingredients that I like and trying to find a perfect blend. Every single batch that I've made so far has been different. Everyone has been good. Some have been better than others. But today I'm going to show you a very quick and easy way to make kind of homemade salsa. It's going to use some canned stuff, some prepared stuff, but it's also going to use some fresh ingredients. Okay, so let's get started. All right, it's pretty simple. You just need a blender, a couple knives, and some of these types of ingredients right here that we see. We've got lime juice, wine vinegar, a couple different kinds of canned diced tomatoes. I've got a couple blends of spices I use or seasoning, like lemon pepper, garlic. You can use garlic powder if you like to. I got an onion. Doesn't matter if it's a white onion, yellow onion, red onion. Different peppers. I prefer the palombo, and of course some fresh cilantro always helps as well. I try to use more of the stalk part than the leaf, but you know, everything is dependent on what you like. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, well, what we're going to start with first is we're going to take a couple of these cans of diced tomatoes. I'm going to pick the zesty mild green chilies and the green chilies original flavor, which I believe also has some lime juice in it. We're going to start by draining all the water out of those. I don't like mine too watery, but even though we're using the blender, it's going to have some consistency. So we're going to do that right now, okay? As you can see, I'm just draining out the water. I want to start with some good thick stuff. Okay, now I'm going to take the cans of diced tomatoes. Gosh, this is a lot easier with two hands, but there we go. So there's one can, and here's the other can, if I can get that out of there. Pretty messy with one hand. Okay, so there you have it. I have two cans in there, and okay, I've actually decided to put a third can in. The third can I put in was just simply the petite diced tomatoes. And the reason for that is a lot of people don't really like this very spicy. So I tend to make it kind of plain in the beginning and then add spice at the end, or we can split the batch in half and make one hot and one mild. For this batch, I'm going to cut up one pepper and one half of an onion. I'm going to do that off camera. I'm really not going to chop it up very much. Maybe just cut off the ends of the onion and take off the skin, and then just throw the whole thing in there. And with the pepper, I'm just going to take off the top of the pepper and pop out that part with all the seeds on it right under here. And then I'm just going to basically throw the whole thing in, and I'll show you how that blends. Okay, so there you have it. I've just done some simple cuts on the onion and on the pepper, and now I'm just basically going to take this whole thing here and throw it in the blender. And the same thing with the onion. I'm going to take that, I'm going to throw it in the blender, and from there I'm going to add just a little bit of lemon pepper, which is going to give it a little bit of flavor and seasoning. Okay, and then I'm going to add a spoon of my chopped. So yeah, we're going to add the spoon of chopped garlic as well. Now garlic can give it a kind of a spicy taste. So as you can see, it's not quite a big, it's not a big tablespoon, but it is a fair amount. So there you go. We're going to start this blend off and see what that looks like when we're done. Okay, so let's try this here. Okay. Now can have a little fun with this sometimes. I'm going to first start off on low, and I'm going to say grind. It's going to take some time to get going because there is some tomato on the bottom. Basically, what you can do is you can do all of the harder parts first. We're going to let this grind a little bit, and then we're going to come back, okay? Okay, well, it's been going for a little while here, only about another minute or so. And it's pretty much done. We can put it on high now. You can see that there is some chunks still in there that are grinding, but for the most part, it's done. So let's take a look real quick and see what kind of consistency we got here. I mean, it is kind of thick. You can't see any of those big pieces, but this stuff is great. Now, a couple of the things we didn't do, and like I said, I make this a different way every time, but as long as the ingredients go in, you're pretty set. What we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to take the lemon juice and the vinegar. And you know, I used to just use vinegar, and then I found lemon or lime really adds a nice flavor. So we're going to put in pretty much as you want. But you probably saw maybe there's an ounce or two in there. And then on the vinegar, we're going to do about the same amount on the vinegar. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. Now I'm going to go off camera for a second, and I'm going to get the cilantro ready to chop, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here we have it. We have some cilantro, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to only really chop off the stemmy portion. I might get a few leaves in there, but you really don't need many leaves in there, and it's a pain in the neck to chop. It gets all over your fingers and everything. I've washed the cilantro. I'm going to pluck out some of the dead stuff you see in there first, but then I'm basically going to even this up, chop off a little bit off the end, and then chop very finely some of cilantro, and I'm going to dump it in there and let it blend again, okay? So I'll be back when I'm done chopping. Okay, I'm back. I just chopped really just a little bit, but for this size batch, that's all I really need. I did not use, by any means, I did not use that whole bunch of cilantro I had. In fact, let's go over here. You can see I got a lot of it left. And you know what I've done in the past is if I have a little bit left and just the leaves or something, I throw them in the freezer. And then like later on, if I have a small batch I want to make, I can just kind of crush it in the bag, and it flakes off and goes right directly into it. But for now, we're just gonna add this directly in there. Okay, I've put the cilantro in, and while I'm getting this ready, it's a good time to mention that there's lots of different variations you can do with this. You can use different peppers. You can use pieces of cucumber, which really give it a different flavor as well. I've used olives, green olives or black olives. You really can make any kind of blend of salsa that you wish, and just use ingredients that you like, and you'll end up with something that you like. Typically, tomatoes and cilantro and onions are your key ingredients. The lemon juice is the vinegar. All there to really help out with the flavor, but cilantro is very important. The lemon pepper to me adds a little zing. So anyway, I'm going to put this on low again, and I'm going to grind.